Love and light, brothers and sisters. So in Pam Gregory's new video, she is saying that, and beautiful video by the way, she if you don't know who Pam Gregory is, she's a marvelous astrologer. Sorry. Yeah, she's very, very good. And to me, you know, astrology as any kind of divination or scrying type art like that, even though there is a set interpretation to these things, it still is a legitimate channel for creative and source energy to flow through. And so the intuition of the astrologer is paramount, and hers is on point. But she said in this video that she has many friends who are already living in 5D. And then her point of saying this was that it's not really a place, the fifth dimension, okay? And there's a lot of confusion about this. I've spoken about it before, but just a quick message, Pam, if I can help clear this up. The dimensions should be considered as places or realms of experience. Density, which is commonly confused with dimension, is the rate you're vibrating at. If you vibrate at fifth density, you will eventually reside in the fifth dimension. But you could also vibrate at sixth density or fourth density and be in the fifth dimension. In fourth density, you could also be in the third dimension or in the fourth dimension. So dimensions and density are different. Now, when you say there are people in 5D right now, and I assume you don't mean people that are ascended masters like Jesus and the Buddha and, you know, all these past ascended masters that we've had, Dwal Kul and all these. Now, if you mean those, and I think you did mention them also in the video, but I didn't think in that comment that's what you meant. Then of course, yes, there are ascended masters. It is the realm of the ascended masters. But as far as humans in incarnation now, going through the ascension process, having reached the fifth dimension, okay? Speaking as one who can actually go to the fifth dimension physically and see it, all right? Meaning I can drop my 3D body, if I even have a 3D body anymore, because truly I'm existing now in a fourth density body. It is not the same body I used to live in as a 3D man, for sure. This body reacts completely different. But it's probably still has some third density echoes or DNA that hasn't been completely transformed. I'm not sure about the totality of my transformation yet. But if I want, by raising my vibration, I can shift completely into the fifth dimension. Now, I'm sorry about the banging. They're renovating the house next door. All right, so understand, first of all, so we would distinguish between density and dimension. Another thing I'd like to distinguish is between fifth density physicality and fifth density consciousness. So there are many, many humans right now who are vibrating at fifth density consciousness. Sometimes all the time, but most are going in and out, fourth density, fifth density, and there's some who are going up six and higher. There are no limits to your consciousness. The physical body, the physical image we see, the mind-body complex, is no different than any other thought or dream, except more energy has been given to it and entangling it in a way. That's what the lower realms really are. They are light entangled with itself and reversed upon itself until it appears to be a physical image, then dragged through the apparent, you know, perception of linear time by taking all these possible alternate worlds and laying them out, you know. So I lost my train of thought a little bit there. Hold on. Oh yeah, so it's basically light inverted upon itself and entangled with itself through time, okay, through the perception of time. So what I mean is, in the third dimension, the big difference between the fifth dimension and third dimension as far as perception, well, the biggest dimension is that the ego is in one. Okay, so that the perception of pain and suffering and all that, a lot of that doesn't even exist in the fifth dimension. But your manifestations are instantaneous in the fifth dimension, or close enough to. In the third dimension, they take much longer to give you the illusion that your own creations are out of your control. That way you can create what is actually antithetical to yourself to experience negativity, contrast, struggle, strife. This is how we create this illusion for ourselves. So once you create energy in the third dimension, it takes time to dissolve. That's all. So we have spent here a lot of time creating this illusion over millennia. And that is what's happening now. It is dissolving, and there is a grace period that has been granted to give all those third density souls who are not going to make the ascension time to prepare, time to exit, and to give us time to actually be able to handle these upgrades without igniting. You know, literally, we could not handle it if it was all given to us at once. So the limitations on the fifth density experience of the body are, first of all, that, like I said, you need time to step up these DNA upgrades. So no one is truly experiencing a fifth density body right now. Not that it has been ascending, at least not in a consistent basis. Like, I have experienced my crystal light body a few times while in this incarnation from a conscious place. Maybe in my dreams I go to other realms and stuff. A lot of that is blocked for me when I come back, honestly. But I have directly gone to a high enough vibration that I was actually in my crystal light body, and it is a completely different incarnate. There's no way you confuse the two. Like, it is a completely different. You are immortal there. I mean, I don't have to breathe when I'm in the fifth dimension. I don't have to eat, you know. So, when are we as an ascending group going to actually be in the fifth dimension together? Not just experiencing fifth dimensional consciousness, not just experiencing fifth dimensional mindsets and vibrations, but our reality actually is the fifth dimension. That would be when we are there together as a group, honestly, because we are entangled. We are entangled, just like they always say, that, you know, one light that wakes up spreads the light for all, right? So as we awaken together, our light is connected, but our darkness is also connected. So the negative dream that we have been manifesting for all this time, we are entangled with it. And it is not going to be until, as a group, we are more cohesive and separate as a group from the third density beliefs and mindsets. There are still so many ascenders that are caught up in 60% of their life, 70% of their life is still caught up in third density illusions. And there are many who haven't even awoken yet. So their power is still affecting, their power to create an illusion is still limiting our power to experience absolute freedom. Unless you want to separate from the collective. You can leave at any time, of course, and take spiritual ascension. And if you're close enough, you could even take physical ascension. But this is not the way the scheme is set up, because our incarnation, our soul's trajectory and path is connected to these, because we're soul families. We came down together as one. We're going up together as one, because truly, many of us, groups of 7, will actually become one being as we move up the ladder, you know, to join with our larger oversoul and monadic selves. Love and light.